your mother.
You don't have to pretend. I already know women reach their sexual peak in their 30s.
Where'd you pick up that kind of stuff?
Donahue.
I'm getting rid of the television set.
I was reading a transcript of your interview with Larry King, and I got very self-conscious because he'd say something about Charlie's Angels, and I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to talk about Charlie's Angels, but I will talk about some stuff. And you said, oh, I've been asked that before, and I thought, gosh, what if, because, you know, because they'll interview me and say, what's it like to work with a dog? You know, so you get those questions. Just, okay, so you won't. Anyway, so I really want to go back a minute here, because long before we met, you were this beautiful young woman in this poster, and there were, I think, 7 million of them, and then women started 12 million.
Okay.
12 million.
Somebody said 2 the other day.
2 million?
Like they keep going down.
You know, life is so unfair.
So unfair.
But now, so you got 12 million posters of you up in different people's rooms, probably mostly guys, and people are copying your hair and anything else they can copy, and very unusual experience. Not I bet no one in this place has had that experience. What does it feel like?
Well.
What is it? No, I don't think so. No. Not
well,
you,
they
Wayne.
tried to copy your style.
No, but what is it? I mean, to be the object, is it even a feeling that you're, I mean, what do you feel with something like that?
Not really.
Nothing.
No,
nothing.
Good.
Nothing.
Yes,
No, nothing.
You know, not at the time.
No,
and now
because
when
you
it's
say it's up to 12 million. It becomes no, seriously,
yeah.
it's like an abstract thing. You don't really experience it, do
Not
you?
at the time, and then now when they're talking about it, I think, why would they talk about it? It's so, what is it, 1976, so long ago.
Because, you know, when you see you start back there and you think of that, and this is this young woman who appears on the scene as this beautiful girl dressed like that. You can say girl when you're like I don't know what, a girl. And you're dressed in the thing, and people are emulating, and then you go, you know, from Charlie's Angels to, you know, being. Would you describe a few of the serious roles you play, the nature of them? The woman, the burning bed is about a woman who burns her husband to death in a bed, right?
Yes, but he was, you know, he was abusive.
He was a batterer.
It was a true story, and also then I did Diane Downs in Small Sacrifices, who killed her children.
So you burned the one husband to death, and then you killed your children and another, and then Extremities is about a woman who's tied up and kidnapped. Is that right?
Well, she survives this rape attempt, and then she ties him up. Yeah, and
this was your reaction to doing Sunburn with Art Carney and me?
I was so pissed off.
Yeah, but
no, it was in me then.
But why would you move towards something like? I mean, I know it's good. I mean, for people like to look at you and as a serious actress and everything, but to play all that stuff, don't you get like a headache or something? Seriously.
This is like meeting you. This is like very
it's a bigger version of meeting me.
You know, when the script is good. And you feel it, well, you know this,
yeah.
And the lines roll off, and you don't have to rewrite them the night before.
You do go through certain emotional experiences to do that kind of stuff, and that was okay?
But also, what a relief to not worry about hair and makeup, and to not have people coming in, and you're going, wait, get away, to just
Boy, if I could get to that, because, let's face it, when we go to the break, ladies and gentlemen, like 4 people come around me, and one says, Farrah, are you okay? She's fine. And Karen from Texas, do you have a question for Farrah Fawcett?
Yes, I do. Hi. Hello, Mr. Grodin. And hi, Farrah. I'm really glad to finally talk to you. I'm from Corpus Christi originally.
You are.
Glad to see you do so well. And want to say I graduated in 75 from Carroll. I know you went to Ray, but I got to tell you the things you've done in your career to go from someone we emulated as a gorgeous, beautiful woman, and I guess the plus roles, to doing really serious, good work. I appreciate what you've done for the battered women, especially in Texas. And I got to tell you, Extremities, I've seen all your movies, but that movie just scared the heck out of me. It brought the reality, the anger, and the rage, because I was raped once myself, and I got to tell you, if I could have acted out like you did on the screen, it helped bring it close to home, and I think brought closure for a lot of women, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Love to see you get back to Corpus sometime.
Yes, I'd like to. Maybe next year. I go back, every 25 years.
So you're really attached to the place, right? You just pop back every quarter century.
Wanted to say? It's interesting because I could do Extremities because that's how I would have reacted.
If you were kidnapped and...
Yeah, in other words, I would have fought back. I
Right.
would not have, like they say, you'll live if you rear, you'll be quiet, or if, you know, my husband was abusive, I'd have to do something.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I think we have enough time to open this subject because in reading all the stuff, I really came away with one feeling, and it was interesting, which is almost from the very beginning, not that you felt that you really weren't taken seriously enough, that you weren't looked at as a peer by people, and all of those things. But what's interesting to me about, do you know, and I wonder if you even at this point even that this is a rather common feeling, not just from a beautiful young lady, but even for a beautiful young man as myself, that this is a very common feeling.
So were you able to take it and use it as
well, but I venture to say, I mean, I know that, you know, this because this kept coming up, and why you wanted to separate from yourself from certain situations, because you could. But I mean, this goes. I think probably everybody in this room shares that feeling that they're not taken the way they'd like to be taken. They're not appreciated the way they do, and even the people that don't appreciate us feel that they're not appreciated. So it's really
so it is sort of like,
it's the life, it's the human experience. So Peggy from Wisconsin and Claudette from New Jersey, who I know is, you know, are calling in, and we're going to come back to you. If you feel that you're not properly seen, believe me, Farrah feels it, I feel it, Wayne, the stage manager, feels it, Clay, Marion, John Gabriel over there. It is. Everybody feels that they're not seen for their full value, and they're not. And they're not. So all we can say about this is that you got a lot of company, and nobody should feel singled out. That everybody in the world really feels like they're underestimated, they're underseen, they're not given their full value, and nobody really appreciates.
I feel I have been more though. There.
She was less. She was actually less appreciated than any of us, and less, you know, given her due.
Yes,
That's
yes.
true. She was. There was no question. Like she, you know, the most popular woman in Texas and all that kind of. That doesn't count. Anyway, we are going to come back with Farrah, and then a little later that heart-to-heart talk with Clay Detmer, my close associate, my alter ego, really kind of like a brother figure. And then later, Karen Saunders is going to sing. But we're going to talk some more with Farrah, and then a very kind of like stunning conversation with Clay Detmer. We'll be right back.